Imagine that you are the administrator at an assisted living facility or nursing home. You have hundreds of clients all living there, all with different medical conditions coming from a whole bunch of different places in the country, all from different backgrounds, and it's your job to keep track of all of those people. This can seem very overwhelming, especially with HIPAA compliance laws, but imagine there was an AI powered assistant that could help you keep track of everything. Caregiver is all that and more. Let me introduce you now to the app that will revolutionize medical care, Caregiver. Caregiver is an app specifically designed for assisted living facilities or nursing homes, and it comes with the following features. First, a chatbot designed to answer medical questions and also can answer questions about real-time events going on at the facility. Second, a calendar fully integrated into the app to show you all the upcoming events going on at the facility and is also integrated with the Twilio API, so it sends text messages right to your phone for when those events are occurring. Third, real-time statistical data so that you can gain further insights about people living at the assisted living facility to help you improve and make better decisions. And last but not least, a memory game designed specifically for people living in the healthcare facility. This game works as the AI tries to pretend like it's living in a year. Your goal is to then ask questions to the AI to try and figure out what year it is living in and then make a guess as far as that year. Now, here is a real-time example of our medical chatbot in action. As you can see, I just asked it what events are happening at the facility this week that would help somebody with osteoporosis. And as you can see, our medical chatbot is actually able to read a vector database that represents all the events going on our calendar here and is able to then answer the question by providing the exact days in which those events are happening and the reason why they are good for somebody with osteoporosis. This shows why our medical chatbot is really helpful for people trying to run and organize hundreds of people at these assisted living facilities. Next, here's an example of how our memory game would be played. As you can see, the AI is pretending to live in the year 1958, and then I am able to ask it questions such as what world events are going on right now. As you can see, the AI responds with the Cold War is escalating with tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union at an all-time high. And if you know that the Cuban Bay Missile Crisis is about to happen, then you would be really wise to guess in the 1950s and the 1960s. This shows why this game is really good because it makes people try and remember about past events going on that would have happened in their lives at the assisted living facility, which helps trigger those neurons, help preventing things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. All right, now that we've seen some of the features that our app can do, let's go ahead and look at the overall architecture of the app, and here is the systems design diagram. So, to begin off with, we wanted to address one of the challenges, which was to use Oracle APEX to solve one of the United Nations goals, and we decided to help medical facilities and healthcare. So we decided to use the Oracle APEX app for the front end, and then that is automatically hooked up with a relational database, which houses all of our data. I also want to mention now that we actually used real data collected from the world, which one of our teammates, Johnny, helped collect. Next, what powers the chatbots located in the app? The chatbots are powered by a backend API hosted on Hugging Face, which then uses open source models. This was really important for the application because we want to be the ones owning the models. We don't want to be querying something like DeepSeek or Gronk or ChatGPT, giving away our data to potentially other companies or potentially other governments in the case of DeepSeek. Now, along with that, this API also hosts a Python file, which allows for the Twilio messaging service so that you can get real-time updates on your phone about events going on in the facility. And then to also make the chatbot better, we also integrated it with a Redis database. This Redis database has the vector indexing, which allows for the LLM to look up information about things going on at the facility, as well as remember conversation history. So this is a breakdown of how the app was created. If you want more detail about this, please visit our mycaregiver.pdf and our GitHub repo. Now I'm going to turn it over to Johnny to talk about how we collected the data and how we cleaned it and what determined what relevant data we wanted to show in our application.
Hi all, my name is Jonathan Nguyen, and I'll be going over the data analysis for our assisted living app. So I pulled this data set specifically from Behavioral Risk Surveillance System, or BRFSS for short. And here I want to discuss about the data set, and this is actually real data that we pulled from, which would actually impact the assisted living, especially those who are caring for older adults. And here we did some pre-processing and analysis on how this data would be helpful in our application. Specifically, there are 3 or 4 features that we narrowed down. So it would be stratification 1, which would discuss about the age, and then stratification 2 would discuss about the race and the gender. And then we also have location, ABBR, where each of the older adults or individuals are evaluated based on their location and specifically state-wise. These are all the questions that the dataset has provided, and the ones that we'll be going over would be percentage of older adults who are experiencing mental distress. The other one would be their dental history, and in addition, there's also their disability as well. So there's a lot of questions within the dataset, but we narrowed down to which ones that the assisted living care center would have the most value.
Next, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Danish, a data scientist, and he's going to describe which open source model we decided to use for our project and why.
As you all might have heard, DeepSeek is all the rage these days, a powerhouse that has threatened the monopoly that OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google have been holding for 2 years now. How that relates to our project is our choice of model, DeepSeek R1 Distill Qwen 1.5b, which, while being one of the smallest models available, outperforms large models such as GPT-4o and Claude 3.5 Sonnet in logical reasoning. This can be run with 4 GB of VRAM, which is very affordable for those of us who need more custom solutions. I mean, it can run on an RTX 3060. This unique property makes it ideal for the purposes of a chatbot that we've trained on a data set of more than 250,000 responses between doctors and patients to learn to communicate in a technical language that is relevant, informative, and can help detect trends and insights. LLMs inherently function via the concept of probability, and tokens allow us to make use of vector databases to very quickly locate relevant context. For that, we use Redis. Now, what is a vector database? Now, when you hear a word like apple, it's context that tells you whether it's a machine or whether it's a fruit. Similarly, an LLM assigns weights to each thing it says based on the context of the conversation. Using this, it can query, say, a patient's heart health way faster than you can draft a SQL query for it. And
to finish out, I would just like to go ahead and talk about some things that we learned in creating this project, the impact of the project, and then some future things that I think we could have done better or could continue to innovate on as we develop this project. First, it was really difficult to figure out which AI model to choose, and due to Danish's work, we did think that this DeepSeek model was the best one. Note that we are not talking about the DeepSeek model and querying an API, we are talking about deploying this very small model as on Hugging Face and using it ourselves. This allows us to fine-tune it ourselves and also make sure that our data privacy is controlled, which is really important in the medical field. We also learned how to utilize Oracle APEX for data visualization on the front end. We also learned how to work with Hugging Face, not only to create APIs, but also for using it for models. The next steps that we would probably take with Caregiver is first off to improve the front-end user experience. We would probably want to add some more pages, questions, and data in order for the AI model to query from, and also just to provide more data for the person running the assisted living facility. We would also probably want to fine-tune the DeepSeek model even more. Keep in mind, we are hosting it again ourselves, so our data is protected, right? But we would probably want to fine-tune it more to make it better for our application. But overall, I truly believe that Caregiver demonstrates how AI can enhance an assisted living facility's management, providing real-time insights, automated event tracking, and interactive cognitive tools. I really hope you enjoyed our presentation of Caregiver, and thank you so much for watching.